Hello and thanks for joining me. Well, today I'm going to make a follow rest for my lathe. I've always wanted one and I've never had one. And the way they mount on this old South Bend, they don't line up with the tool right because it was designed to have a lantern tool post. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. But most of them are designed to bolt onto the side of the cross slide right here. So if this square was the steady rest, it would be bolted on like that and it would support the work underneath here. Well, the tool's way over here. It really needs to be over here. Now I can take my cross slide off and drill 2 more holes right there and mount the steady rest right there. But I watched a video that Keith Rucker did. I can't remember the name of his lathe, but it was a bigger lathe than this one. But the steady rest mounted right on these dovetails here. So what I'm going to do is mill a block that fits right on that dovetail there and then mount the steady rest on top of that. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to mill this block. And I've blued the end of that. And I got a couple of shims here that I'm laying on the bottom of the dovetail. I'm going to use those shims to support this block and scribe the dovetails on there, the position of them. What I'll do is I'll waste all this away with a straight end mill and then use a dovetail cutter to bring it to size. I'll go a little bit deeper. Well, I'll probably go right to the line, but to the line is probably a little bit deeper because I want this upside down. I want this surface to lay against the bottom of the dovetails. About the right depth and about the right width at the bottom too. All I got to do is cut the dovetails. Well, that's real close. I knocked the corner off of that to compensate for the radius on this dovetail here. I go about 5 thousandths at a time. Drum roll, please. Wow, still tight. Well, I think that's it. Now I got to come up with a way to lock it. Okay, this is kind of a guessing game here. I want to cut a saw cut in there about the same depth as the dovetail to give a locking mechanism. I got to make that steel flex, but I don't want to make it weak. So I'm going to leave about an 1/8 inch, I think. It may actually be deep enough. I wish it was a little deeper there, but I think that'll work. I don't have another saw that size. I'm going to have to break out another saw and cut that deeper. Well, I don't think it was a saw cut. I think it was where I didn't tap all the way through the hole there. So the threads were tightening up and it wasn't moving that. Okay, I replaced the set screws with just socketed screws. A little easier to deal with. Oh yeah. That's got it now. Well, I think that wraps it up for part one. This took a lot longer than I thought it would. A lot of cutting and then test fit. I think it's going to work good though. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and be sure and subscribe and Stay tuned for part 2 coming out next week. And ring that bell.